So there was always one piece of advice that I always clung onto, and a little backstory. I didn't really have like parents to lean on. I definitely didn't have parents that were wise people. If anything, I was like the parent in our dynamic. So I finally got to a point when I kind of had to figure it out, when I like low-key, I got thrown out of the house at 21 from my grandparents. Like, it was a lot of things. I think it was just like they didn't want me partying, but I also think it was like they're very extreme about things. Like, I don't necessarily, I wouldn't consider them people of moderation. They're very like all or nothing, very extreme. And I also had tried to like, like put my best foot forward before they decided like I had to leave. I also think like it's just like the narcissism of my grandmother. Like, she just didn't want to be a parent, like point blank period. And I think she just started realizing too late that like, she didn't want to do this, like, for anybody that she did it for. So a piece of advice that I learned, I don't even think I picked this up from anywhere, truthfully. I mean, maybe like I've read things that got it stewing, but I don't think I've ever actually like was reading anything that like coined this. But basically, I would come to certain points in my life where I was like, what you get to a point where you're like, I don't have anybody to go to for guidance. Like, what the fuck do I do in this situation? And something I would always tell myself to this day, it doesn't happen as often as it used to. Oh God, I'm tired. But it does still happen. And there's one question you need to ask yourself, and that is, if my daughter, if you're a man, you can say son or whatever, if daughter makes you feel more empathetic and more of a problem solver, then do that. Whatever you feel like you gotta do. If my daughter or son came to me with this problem, what would I advise them to do? And it's funny because it's kind of like I'm being taken back to like this theme and this question recently because of the quantum leap that I just did. And basically, like, if you guys watched my most recent video, essentially, like, I've come to realize, like, I used to like, okay, let me backtrack. Like, I used to say to myself, like, that question, I used to be like, what would I do? My daughter came to me with this, and I was like, well, that's easy. Like, I'd be like, I got you. Like my daughter, are you kidding me? Like, I would never, ever, ever let her fall or want for anything. Like, that's why I'm 28 with no kids, because if I do it, and I really don't even care to be a parent, truthfully, because I don't know if it's like early development dynamics with my own family, or just I'm not feeling it in general, or what, but no matter what, like, straight up, if that's my child, like, I will have your fucking back. Like, you will never ever feel alone in this world, or be alone in this world, or have to navigate this world by yourself. Like, I will always be front and center here for you, because I never had that. Ever, 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 ever. Like, if anything, I feel like everybody was just like, had no idea what the fuck was going on, which is fine, I guess. That's life, right? So, yeah, and so I got to the point where I was really thinking about this. This was probably about 6 months ago or so. I was thinking about this question in terms of, like, before I made the leap, I was like, what should I do? What should I advise myself to do? Like, all these things to consider. And that's really what for me was like, I know what I have to do. Like, you know, and it was hard for me to even hear that, like, even inside my own head, and admit that, like, I'm telling myself to follow this advice that I swear by, and the advice this time, for the first time probably since I've really enacted this way of like figuring my life out, it was like really challenging me, and I was like, oh shit, like I have to quit, like I have to quit my job and like have my own back. And I think the most daunting part of it was having never done it before without a backup plan. And like realistically, I did have a backup plan, they just weren't in my awareness, like the backup plans. And I think like it's always scary, and there's so much to be said for like the fear, the human like instinctual fear of the unknown. You know, it's like a survival mechanism. Like we're so afraid of like what we don't know or what's not familiar to us, to try to keep us safe. But when it comes to like spirituality, they don't give a fuck. They're like, oh, is that it? You're scared because you never been through this? Well, let me tell you what. And you know what? I'm gonna say one last thing before I sign off and let you guys sit with this for a little bit. In your past life, like you very well could have made the leap and been wildly successful, and you just don't remember because of the amnesia that we get when we reincarnate again. Like, think about that. I think about that a lot. So I'm really tired, but I had to share this with you guys because, as you know, I love you guys, and like, to be honest, like I'm just thankful that this is my purpose, and that I get to show up every day and like serve humanity, and like meet cool ass people, befriend cool ass people, support and be supported by cool ass people, and like in a way that like really feeds me. So thank you. I love you. Bye.